There is a new book out by Dutch historian Rutger Bregman, and it's called Moral Ambition: Stop Wasting Your Talent and Start Making a Difference. In the book, Bregman exhorts cultural elites to use their education, their talent, and their resources to solve society's toughest problems, rather than amassing more and more wealth. He notes in his book that in the 1960s, about 50% of people, when polled, said their goal in work was to make as much money as they could. Guess what that percentage is today? 85 to 90%. And in the 1960s, many of them said their overwhelming goal was to have a life philosophy that led them to fulfillment and happiness. That number is much below today. So friends, there is a clear theme in today's scripture, no doubt. This world is passing away, including all of its possessions, our possessions. We are called in the second reading to seek that which is above, to seek life with God. To put our security in possessions is a fool's errand. And this is our call today. This is the clear call in Scripture. Ecclesiastes and Kohelet say, vanity of vanities, all things are vanities. You know, one of the challenging things about the Basilica as a preacher and a pastor is we have some really highly educated people from all over, including the U of M and other places. So when I venture into the linguistic realm, which is not my strength, I always do so with some trepidation and humility as well. So the word in Hebrew for vanity is hevel, which means vapor or mist, that which is insubstantial, not solid, fleeting, passing away. And this leads to, as we understand in Ecclesiastes, a life of unhappiness and unfulfillment, and yet this is the telos, this is the goal for so many people, even though we end up unhappy and unfulfilled. And yet the opposite, as Paul says, is our North Star, to seek a life with God, to seek that which is above. And that's what he says in his letter to the Colossians today. To put to death that which is earthly, everything contrary to God, including the greed that is idolatry. Pope Leo exhorted about 1 million young Catholics last night and this morning in Rome to do just that, to seek that which is above. And he said this, a beautiful evocative line. He said, to pay attention to the gentle knock of the Lord at the window of your soul. So these young Catholics can start out, and they have a choice, right? To either use the gifts that they have been given to serve others onto the glory of God and the betterment of our society, or to seek the path of the rich fool, to use whatever gifts we have to serve ourselves. The choice is theirs. The choice is ours as well. And so we're called, in essence, to live that which might be described as a redeemed life. This is what Paul is saying to the Colossians. You have been baptized into Christ. Don't go back to bondage and that earthly life, but rather seek what is above. Live discipleship to the full. Luke's gospel today and throughout the gospel is a prophetic and instructive when it comes to apathetic wealth. Think of the story of Lazarus and the rich man. The rich man is dining sumptuously each day. When priests usually proclaim this gospel, we're dressed in purple. Here it's silk at the Basilica, of course. And that always touches me, right? Am I doing enough for those who are marginalized? Am I apathetic to their plight? And we understand how the story ends. The rich man is in the netherworld, and Lazarus is in the bosom of Abraham. Today, we have the rich fool who says, where can I store all that I have? I must build larger barns. He's putting his security in his possessions rather than in God. And that's always our choice. It's understandable, friends. It's even human, right, to do that. Do we have enough, right? As folks who plan for retirement say, what's your number, right? When can you retire? What's your number? I understand that. But we store more and more. I think a modern example of this, and I'm not trying to shame anybody. If I were married and was working, I would probably have one of these too. Storage sheds. They're all over. They proliferate, right? This is not a cultural advancement, friends. Okay? So I think it's an invitation for all of us to look into our lives and our hearts and say, do we have enough? Do we need more? Do we trust in God? And so that is the story, right? The rich man is seeking more and more. I want to end with some positive examples, right? Wealth is not bad in and of itself. The church has never taught that. What are some positive examples? Right here at the Basilica of St. Mary, the worst kept secret in the parish is that we have already started fundraising, right? We have. That's how these campaigns go. You go in phases, and we've started that process. There will be a public announcement coming in a number of months, but we've started. And one of the things that has been so inspiring to me as a pastor is how generous our parishioners and friends have been to the Basilica of St. Mary, using what God has given them to generously support this effort. It has blown me away, inspired me, right? And it's such a beautiful thing. One person telling me, what I have comes from God, and I intend to end my life by giving it all away. These are very bright and gifted people who love the Basilica of St. Mary and have been extraordinarily generous. And it puts us on a momentum and a path to get this beautiful project, this generational project done. My own father is an example. Now, if he's watching, Dad, your children do say good things about you from time to time. When I go to his house, the phone does not stop ringing because it's people that he's given money to. I told him that they were honoring Bishop Pates through Catholic Extension, and I had no idea. He said, I give to them as well. He never brags about it. He does it quietly. He does it humbly, but boy, he does it robustly. And it's a beautiful thing. He has a nice home. He has a nice car. He doesn't want for much. He has a pension, but boy, is he generous with what he's been given, including to his children, and it's an inspiration. Finally, we are called as Christians to call out the greed that devalues other human beings, turns them into instruments, robs them of their subjectivity and their dignity. There was a story out first in the Washington Post and now in the Catholic Spirit, they picked it up in the newsletter, of a Brazilian priest who meticulously recorded the conversations and interviews and abuses of those who were humanly trafficked in work with an auto manufacturer from Europe. Now, the auto manufacturer, of course, denies this. But this led to amazing and sad revelations, calling out that greed, standing up for human dignity. And a law school friend of mine sent me the article, and he said, it's the power of what one person can do, the transformative power, when they are trying to seek to serve others. What a beautiful testimony. I'm proud that he is a fellow priest. We'd love to bring him in to the Twin Cities for a conference. We're talking about that. So friends, that's one person. Just imagine what 1.4 billion Catholics living in communion with God, living the gospel to the full, could do in transforming our world.